While I was redesigning my main base to help deal with the bigger groups that I was finding in the SEA region, I went and built in a cave. I built and designed a cave base to withstand a big raid from a sizable group. Now I was forced underground by 3 big ZERGs living on each side of my cave who made sure I did not have an easy wipe. I really got up to no good this wipe to act out against my ZERG overlords who had me pinned down in the bottom of that cave. But to get the cave, I had to waste no time. Hello all, we are back, and I have no time to waste because I want a cave. Plan A is to get the HQM Quarry Cave. That might be a struggle, there's probably a ZERG there already, even though the server's just wiped. And plan B is the Sulfur Quarry Cave. We'll try for HQM, if I can't get it, we'll redivert. So, wish me luck, because I do actually want a cave this wipe. I have no main base to build. This cave is actually in like one of the most insane spots I've seen. It's got HQM Quarry, launch site, deep snow nodes. I have a feeling all the people behind me are probably going for it as well, likely a ZERG, but we'll have to compete for it. And if you like watching solos compete against ZERGs, please subscribe. But for now, let's try get this cave. Well, it's not looking good. I think I might have just missed out on it. Decisions. I could steal this one. I could actually even go deep on the other one. I might just hang around for a bit. Damn, he's just done a second door. Damn, I can hear flies. He's just F1 killed. Oh well, time to go up and have a look and decide if we compete for this cave. Yeah, no, I don't think this is the play. That's going to have like a 20 deep ZERG on the ice lake, and I'm all for fighting them, but if you're living in a cave right under them, with no recycler, it's going to be a hard time. I think we'll try the Sulfur Quarry Cave. That green marker has the Sulfur Quarry Cave, and it's got a launch site and a gas station next to it, so even if I have a big ZERG above me, I'm fine with that. I could deal with it knowing I have those 2 monuments to work with. So, let's try that cave. Gonna get a rev, and we'll do it that way. Alright, round 2. Oh, this is a ZERG farm, I gotta be quick. I swear I'm the master of wrong place, wrong time when I try to get a start. After a few painful attempts, I managed to secure the Sulfur Quarry Cave, and the more time I spent looking at the map, I realised I should have just went for it first. It was in a really good spot, and my guess about that farmer was correct. This base turns into a monstrous sized ZERG village right next to my cave, but I was okay with that, and I was going to hunt them down one by one. But first, I needed to fortify this cave. Alright, we've got enough for now. 4 walls and a door. Don't have a sheet door yet, we need to get that. I'm going to go to water treatment plant and try my luck there before that ZERG takes it over. Hopefully we can get a furnace. If I get one good run, it'll really set me up. When the sun goes down, I come out to play. I imagine this ZERG will have this thing on lockdown during the day, but if I can get a quick recycle and get my sheet door, I think we'll be off to a good start. Actually get a furnace from this. This is good. So there's like a sizable group next to water treatment and gas station already, and there's probably going to be another one on the other side of me at Sulfur Quarry. I'm going to be like sandwiched between 2 of them. I'm going to have to probably play like a little Navy SEAL operative or something and just emerge from the cave in the dark or undercover to try and pick these ZERGs like players off. I'm going to be like that little blowfly, you know, you can't get rid of no matter how hard you try. I might actually change my name to Blowfly, but that's the plan. This is everything I need. Please let me get it back to base. I kind of forget on these high-pop servers, you pretty much get like 5 or 6 node respawns in your cave all the time. It's actually going to help a lot. Alright, this is actually going pretty well. While this metal smelts, I'm going to get some wood for the layout of this cave and to smelt the ore. And I'm also going to have a bit of a look around because I don't really want anyone next to the cave just yet. So I'm going to try and stop that as best I can. So this is roughly what it's going to look like. I'll do a more in-depth little tour later when it's all stone and metal and in its final place. But it's pretty much a double bunker. You're going to have to go through 2 armored bunkers and 2 armored walls to get to my tool cupboard. So 50 to 60 rockets. It's going to have auto turrets, raid detection circuit, all that sort of stuff. But for now, we do have a problem. I have no base on the surface, which I do need. And I want to kind of get one down now before anyone like kind of turret grease the cave entrance. So get that done. About here will do, I reckon. With my cave layout done, some metal doors and a surface 2x1, it was now time to start scouting around and getting intel on who exactly was my biggest threat. I also needed to try and get some scrap and comps for a tier 2 bench and guns to defend myself if any of these groups tried to raid me early on before this cave was a fortress. I have spent too long in that cave already. I needed to see the light, and I also need my tier 2. I'm going to launch site. I just want to scout it out, but I have a feeling it will be on hard lock this entire wipe, but it is like a really good monument for getting a tier 2. Naked cutting a tree. He belongs to some group around here. I don't know which one yet. Kinda looks clear for now. Never mind, there's definitely people here. Something tells me it's probably those guys. I reckon they're the guys who took HQM Quarry off me because it's just to the left. That base will become huge, I reckon, and they'll be contesting Bradley pretty much on every cooldown. I'm not so much here for the loot this run, it's more like intel gathering, where people are going to come from, how I can best get onto launch site and away with an inventory full of loot. And I'm going to go do the same to that supermarket when the sun goes down. And see how active that clan is. Oh my god, look at those furnaces. There's a big base to the left there being built. I assume that's their starter that lets them look over water treatment and the supermarket. So I'll be able to get in here at night, but I'll have to do it like on the down low. Not like what I'm about to do now. This is what these Chinese ZERGs do. They just send one guy down, he just hits barrels, recycles, and runs up, and they do it over and over and over. They'll be such easy kills. That thing is gonna be huge, and it's like a grid away from my cave. This may actually work in my favor big time. These guys are overlooking this thing during the day. No one's gonna come here. But if I sneak in and out at night with inventories of loot, like I just get access to a free recycler, which is exactly what I need. Some dudes just ziplined in. They are looking for me. I have enough for the tier 2 with what's down in the cave. see what I mean? In daytime, they've got this place on lock, but nighttime is the perfect time to recycle. These dudes chased me the whole way. I think they're looking to find who's killing their farmers. I've outmaneuvered him, he's gone straight past me to the cave, but they were going to check it eventually, but it's a good thing I got that tier 2 because I will need to put garage doors down because they could very well try raid this early on wipe day. Oh my god, listen to them, there's like 3 sets of footsteps. I got a feeling their little leader's gone like, go find out where the people are that are killing our farmers and we'll raid them. But I need to get this cave strong and quick. I had the local Chinese Zerg hard scouting my cave, and they also tried a few attempts at dropping down the bucket to check the rear entrance of the cave. I kept spawning back over at that supermarket, sneaking out loot and killing their farmers where I could. Now I'd been introduced to one Zerg, and I was about to be introduced to the second one. I kind of stopped what I was doing just to fortify this cave a bit more. I'm a bit concerned with them dropping down the bucket and just coming down and scouting it. I've got my tier 2, got some garage doors, I've moved my TC to where it's actually going to go, and I've stoned up and metaled up a lot more of the front, so I think we should be good for now. Ooh, someone's getting slammed. I haven't had a whole lot to do with them yet, but there's a smaller group in that forest there, but this could be very grubbable and would help me get set up early. And I also want to know who's raiding them. Fight a grenade. I know those names. They're from the Tesla video like 2 videos ago. That's that 15 plus deep Chinese Zerg with the sus guy in there. Fun! They must be close by then if they're raiding here, which is concerning. We need to get back on that original mission of getting some guns. The cave's now kind of strong enough, but I just got nothing to defend it with. And now I've got 2 Zergs either side of me, so back to launch site and see how we go. Oh, Jesus. It's massive. I don't know who he's with, but it could be the Zerg behind the back of launch site, so they'll be all running over. This is them. This is an ambush for me. I don't know where they live, but they definitely know where I live. I'm gonna have to find out. That's a painful death, that one. I don't know this name, and the only reason you chuck your rock and torch out is if you want your body bag to disappear quicker. That's concerning. I was continuously being scouted, and I know that I had at least 2 full Zergs next to my cave, and numerous other small groups that had been out raiding. I really needed to get some guns and firepower to defend this cave with. My objective for the rest of the day was to secure some guns and HQM the front of my cave. Well, the Zerg have started taking Bradley. This is the first Bradley of the wipe, and I am pretty much back to prim. I spent a lot of time fortifying that cave, and I lost the only P2 I had. So hopefully we can get something from launch or pick someone off on the outskirts, but they can go over there and I'll be over here. Getting out of here, I have too much treasure and it is kicking off. They're calling all the boys back. I want to get home with me launch loot. It's a mission. Playing like a little scavenger and it's kind of going quite well. This place is like full on. Just trying to get loot back is an absolute exercise. Nice, see he ran away from the sheer fear of my water pipe slug. But I think I can make a custom, so let's start. That group that got raided earlier, well, they didn't give up, and I now had a third big group right next to my cave. This area was becoming hard to exist in. Every time I tried to run loot back, I was getting jumped and being forced down into the cave and only really coming up when things had died down. I'd accomplished my day one goals, and for the next day I was going to emerge from my dwelling and wreak absolute havoc in this area. I'd already started doing a bit of this by picking off the launch ZERGS farmers, but I was going to kick it into overdrive and show that containing me in a cave was not going to be that easy, and the only way to get rid of me was going to be with at least 60 rockets. Well, the base has survived the night, and the plan for today is to be an absolute pest. Just setting up my auto furnaces because I'm going to make a whole lot of boom, and we're going to raid like any farm base that comes up, pick farmers off in the dark, you name it, I'm going to do it. And the ultimate goal is to just test this base design. I've never been online raided in a cave before. So we're going to see how far we can push some of these groups and see if we can really get them annoyed. And also I don't like the idea that they can contain me in here. It's just not going to happen. So, time to be annoying, time to document it, and we'll see how far we get with it. Well, they've got another tower, and they've also got a farm now. They're getting pretty big. But I think I put that 1x1 down next to the launch site yesterday, and I reckon we're going to play out of that because I've had a lot of success with the launch Zerg there. Situational awareness could be better. Their base is getting pretty big. Ooh, actually, I think I can pick that guy off. I'm in snow camo. I don't reckon he's seen me. The circle of life is like a little ecosystem out here. I'm gonna go stash it in my 1x1, but you don't really need to be a genius to figure out where exactly this loot's being run to. But if I run it back each night, I'll minimize my losses when it inevitably gets raided. While they're distracted trying to find me, it's time to go to plan B, steal their HQM. What are the odds he goes AFK right next to my bag? My HQM. I'll come back and get that later. I'll go die out in the ocean so we can't find it. How did they mess that up? They've gone looking for it and they've actually found it, but not actually the foundation. You know, wonder. It's my HQM now. I was having success stealing from the launch Zerg, but the supermarket and sulfur quarry ones were starting to move closer and closer to my cave. The plan was to start raiding farm bases soon, but I really had to put in a don't come too close to my cave rule because they were starting to make my life a bit difficult. Look at them up there. They sit on that hill and they just try and contain me to this freaking cave. This is my life now. It's like literally shooting fish in a barrel. Not even about getting that SAR back, it's more like just letting them know that if they come down in this area, there'll be pain. Not even allied, it's just like 2 Zergs and me. Just the story of my day so far. Oh, he didn't even loot me. They are everywhere. They're like 360 degrees surrounding my base. All I want to do is just hit a node. Alright, I went and had a shower. Hopefully they're gone. They're still around. These guys are everywhere. It's like a beehive. Don't judge me, please. Sometimes you just have to do things you're not proud of to survive Zerg-infested servers as a solo. Leaving my base was becoming a chore. I would get 10 steps and then just get shot at. I needed to create space and get some flank bases up, and the perfect way to do this was to start raiding all the farm bases around me and then turning them into flank bases. I picked my first target and prayed to RNG Jesus that I picked a good one. With the safety of this cave, I can make a lot of boom, and mark my words, if assuming I don't get Foundation cave wiped, I'll be raiding every single farm base around here. I'm talking like 20 plus raids is the goal. But we're going to start with something simple, a 2x1 on top of the hill. We'll see how we go. pretty much a vampire at this point, really. Like, I only ever play Rust in the dark. Let's just get the scuff raid out of the system first. I'm like the duplicity of man. I can pull off these impossible raids at times, and then I just struggle to throw 10 satchels on a wall. I've hit the foundation. It happens. I'll go back and get another one. I promise to you, the viewer, we will hit a jackpot at some point. I will not quit this wipe even if it takes 2 weeks. I will be raiding into a jackpot. Let's just get this bad raid out of the system, and then we'll get something a bit more lucrative. I hope. While my sulphur's cooking, and to make up for that abysmal raid, I'm going to show you one of my tricks I don't normally show. And it's how to get HQM as a solo, and you just mine the Bradley corpse after the Zerg leaves, because no one ever does this or checks for this. I am actually full living the scavenger life right now. Another thing as well, you can get scientist bodies under the Bradley corpse that they can't loot, and sometimes you can just get loot off of the bodies. Ooh, there's a guy there. I got a bit over half of it. You get about 80 HQM if you do the whole thing. HQM can be hard to get as a solo, and normally I'll have a 1x1 next to launch, and I'll just mine the Bradley corpse, usually with a jackhammer. It's quicker. But, there you go. Get away with the goods, half of it anyway. I was playing like an absolute scavenger. I was mining Zerg Bradley loot, picking off their farmers here and there, sneaking into the recycler under the big Zerg at night to get my recycling done. I was trying to make the best of a difficult situation, and it was starting to pay off. I had a decent amount of loot at this point, but the Zergs were also slowly adapting to my antics. That is insane. I had like bags and double barrels in that forest, and they've cut the whole forest down. Oh, it's funny. Well, lucky this is kind of like the last major recycling run I need to do. My tree cover, as I exit here, it's gone. There's a guy up there tending to those furnaces. I'm gonna scare the crap out of him as karma for cutting down my forest. He's gonna be so mad. I need a jackhammer. That's one way to get one. He lives just over there. This would be interesting. Well, that jackhammer, you're gonna have to come get it. I've let it up onto the roof. They're probably thinking about raiding it, but it's really not worth it. All the loot is down in the cave. Despite breaking my solar panels. Oh, that's hilarious. Seen one run out of the base early hitting barrels. I'm gonna go kick him while he's down. Oh, it's a free SAR. They get really careless when they think they have numbers, but it's people like me that capitalize on that stuff. I don't imagine that surface base is going to last much longer. I think I've just run into a farm team. Yup. While the fight so far had been a kill here and a kill there, I was only taking small amounts from the ZERGS. That all changes after running into this farm team. I knew I was on their radar already after being a massive pest, but if I was only a blip at this point, I was about to consume the entire radar. So much foot traffic coming through this area. I think I'm just going to go back to good old-fashioned Rust and just focus on PvP and picking them off left, right and center and stashing their kits. One down, 584 left to go. Oh, we have a visitor in the cave, that's interesting. We need to check this out. What have I spawned into? Everyone's just so good. I don't think I'm being raided at least. I'm gonna slap a couple upgrades on this base and a few turret pods to get ready to watch that cave because it is getting a bit active out the front. I don't want to be like cave camp. And then after that I'm gonna go blow the 2x1 up on top of the hill. I'm pretty sure it's the Zerg farmer's little flank farm base. And I'm gonna take it over because I'm sick of them running out of there. I mean, there's nothing really in here, but it's more where it is. I'm trying to establish control on this hill, like somewhere to stash loot and to run out of if I need to flank someone. There's a second base just along the ridge I want to get as well, and when the sun goes down, I'll use my last 2 rockets to get that one. Well, they're online. I had finally secured a decent amount of loot from a raid, and I was regaining a bit more control of the territory around my base. I was still occasionally picking off Zerg farmers as well for a good amount of loot. Now, I'd killed 2 separate Zerg farmers from 2 separate groups, and they both sent their teams over to sort it out. It's one play after another that kept chipping away at the Zerg's patience, and amongst the chaos of it all, I made sure that they lost everything. I think I've started something. What just happened? Oh my god, there is still more to be gotten. See, the flank bases come in handy. Need to save these AK. Sun's coming up, Tommy's coming out. My FPS when that ZERGS shack renders in. Yeah, that's right, look where all your loot's going. That was one of the more intense fights I've ever been a part of, and I got so much loot from it, at least 5 AKs and countless tier 2 guns. The issue was, they all knew where I live now, and I needed to really fortify this cave because a raid was very likely at this point. For obvious reasons, I think we should probably work on fortifying the defenses of this cave a little bit more. I actually do want to be able to defend it if it gets raided, and it is likely I have been very annoying. I've actually written down the coordinates of 11 farm bases, and I have a lot of boom, and I'm going to raid them all at the end of the day and see what anyone does about it. But for now, we're going to focus on the cave, and then probably just go back to my old antics and annoy them again. Step 1 is have the auto turrets turn on when they detect an explosion, and I think I've done it right. We'll give it a test. Nice, now we're talking. This is like a double cave system. There's 2 caves adjacent to each other. You have to run past this cave to get to my cave. And I've got like a wireless transmitter in the other base, and if it detects a grenade, it turns on an RF transmitter and opens the door and turns the turret on in this cave. So if they shoot a rocket at the front of my other cave, they get flanked by an auto turret, so they can't leave very easily. Well, I've cleaned up all the auto furnaces and automation now. It's looking quite good. It's like a fully automated cave. I think there's like one more little mod to do, and it's smart alarms and lights. We've added to it. If it detects an explosion, it turns all the turrets on, lights, and a smart alarm, and I get a notification on my phone, which is handy, but we'll test it, see how it goes. Nice, it's all working. I'll show you the finished product. I'll armor that second set of walls as I get the HQM, but this is pretty much it. It's pretty strong. This is essentially a double bunker. If you go through doors, you go through 2 bunkers, or you can just go through walls, but I've got armored doors with auto turrets that can see through the holes, and I just seal this all up at night. And yeah, it's a pretty expensive raid, and I've got kits all through here, and there's 8 auto turrets, and plus the 1 that flanks, so I feel the cave's in a pretty good spot to defend a raid if anything happens, so time to go back to the surface and see what's going on. Looks like they've been having fun without me. We can't have this. I had started right back where I left off. I was pretty happy with how strong the cave was at this point, and I had so much loot that I just put it all in vending machines and broadcasted it to the server. The day was coming to an end, and I was still trying to push groups around me into trying to deal with me, and they were all just letting me get away with murder at this point. So before I logged out, I went over to keep my neighbours up all night just to push them that little bit extra. This is one of the more immature things I've ever done, but you need to do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go put a big tower next to my neighbour and just shoot like, I don't know, 10 incense rockets at their roof. Maybe they just stay up thinking they're gonna get raided, I don't know. I'm going to bed straight after it. I don't know what time zone it is for them, but I'll log on in the morning and see what their base looks like and if they're all still on. What are the odds I get a storm for this? Actually helps build the base, but lining the rockets up, not going to be that easy. This is so stupid. But I have that much stone and metal, I might as well just use it. That's pretty good. I know they got boxes and helis and all sorts of stuff on that roof. I might be able to splash it off the wind turbine. Come on, that's a pretty good shot. Gotta make sure I get both sides of the roof, you know. But then you set the whole thing on fire. Oh my god, like, look at that roof. Well, I'm quite exhausted, so I'm gonna run my kit over in the next night cycle, take the upkeep out of my... There'll be enough in there for like 5 hours before it decays, and go to sleep and wake up and see if we survive the night. Oh, how has nothing of mine been raided? Not even my surface base. It's like one of the few wipes I actually want to be raided. I'll get woken up if someone hits the cave with a rocket, but we're here. And the base across the train tracks looks a lot stronger. Oh, that's funny. I'm not saying I had anything to do with what's happened to that base, but it's kind of funny. 10 Incend rockets might have made them do nothing, but it's way stronger and there's a lot of them online. They are in the same spot I am, so they got the same level of threat with raids, but that's still funny. I had to use my stone on something. I somehow had survived the night and I was sitting on a pile of about 30 rockets. The plan for today was to go and raid my neighbour's farm base just to put the cherry on top of the annoying cake, and then roam around the map PvPing, taking fights, while also gathering intel on raid targets. I was then going to take my 30 rockets and raid every single base that looked like a Zerg farm or flank base to put more and more loot in my vending machines. Alright, I'm gonna go raid their farm base. I've seen one of them come out of it earlier in the wipe. I don't think they're going to take this one too well. It's like all sheet metal, I need a few rockets for it, but hopefully it's loaded. Whoa, it's a stash base. Maybe they like moved a bunch of loot over here and sheet metaled it last night after I shot the rockets. If that was the case, it'd be hilarious. Surely that's got to be them. This is an 8 rocket raid to get this back. I haven't broken their bunker. Oh, they're actually raiding it. They're actually top downing it. There's not really a whole lot I can do here, to be honest. Oh, it's actually them. It's a shame I lost the loot. I don't really need it. It's more about just poking people with a stick. Surely someone retaliates soon. As I was doing that raid, I don't know if you could hear in the background, very faint rockets. I think the launch site Zerg's on the move against these guys. I'm gonna try and grab that too, because that's what I do today. Be annoying. Oh, come on, that's a sign from the Rust Gods, a water pipe in a box. Yeah, this is the launch site Zerg.
I'm stuck. Help.
I don't think it's possible that there's a bigger pest on this server right now. Frick yeah, free AKs, add it to my collection. My collection of guns, kits, and loot was growing. I had half a box of AKs at this point, and I'd been steadily moving up the pest ranks against all of the groups who'd pin me down in the bottom of that cave at the start of the wipe. I wanted one to raid the cave to test if my design was any good at all. I was broadcasting all of my loot, had code locks on all of my bases to create the illusion that I wasn't solo. This was my last day on the server for this wipe, and the only other way I could think of annoying them further was to just start raiding every single one of their farm bases that they had around me. Alright, I'm going to chuck a bit of a lap with a kit, and we'll just make sure all these bases are still where I wrote them down, and we'll get raiding. Just never ends. That's one of the guys from across the cave. It's looking alright so far. There's still a couple up. I'm just trying to scout bases, but I keep coming back with kits and farm. I might end up having to raid my own farm bases at this point. Oh no, he's found me. This guy, I reckon this guy just killed. I actually own these two bases, this 1x1 and the 2x1 next to me. The 2x1 next to me is the one I raided where that guy spawned in, and this 1x1's from the start of White where I threw those satchels. I'm going to take the kit I got from killing that guy and move it into the other base, so if they do raid one, they get mixed up and hopefully hit the wrong one. It's the same guy. I thought he's from the launch Zerg, but he's from the supermarket Zerg. That village and their base to the left is just an FPS destroyer, and I have a pretty good computer. I can't look at it. It's like the perfect defense. just, I don't even know. Just got too much loot, just too much loot. It was time. I'd scouted out the majority of the bases I had written down and they were all still there, so it was time to use some of these rockets. Over the next few night cycles, it's raid time. I don't really know what's going to be in here. It's going to be 50-50 for some of these bases, but if there's nothing in there, we'll just take them over, put a bed and a kit, and I'll have flank bases everywhere.
Looks like a Jaguar. It's got leather seats. It's got a CD. But I don't wanna talk about it anymore. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try and fake it anymore, anymore.
Well, next.
We'll start over again. Grow ourselves new skin. Get a house in heaven. Drink cider from the But I don't wanna talk about it anymore. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try
Much better. Next.
anymore, anymore. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try and fake it anymore, anymore. He's got a brand new car. He's got a brand new car. A brand new car. A brand new car. A brand new car. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try and fake it anymore, anymore. I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try and fake it anymore, anymore.
At this point, I had an eye-watering amount of loot for a solo that I couldn't even fit it all in the cave. I had over 10,000 scrap, 3 vending machines of sulfur, boxes upon boxes of guns, 15 plus full kits. I didn't even know what to do with it all. I'd done everything in my power to try bait a raid to test my cave. I put 7 days of upkeep in my cave, filled all of my vending machines with what I had, and waited, and waited, but the raid never come. I don't script my content, so what happens in the wipe is what you see. One day, I will get someone to raid a cave of mine, but I was still satisfied with the outcome of this wipe. My cave was surrounded by highly contested monuments, ZERGS of 20 plus people, and I still managed to hold my own, wreak a bunch of havoc, and carve out a small piece of territory in all of this land. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be testing my new base design. Peace out.